In 2020, I wasn't a trader. I was working at Amazon stacking boxes on an 18-wheeler for 10 hours a day and doing Uber on the side just to make ends meet, working a job that I absolutely hated. But then, lucky for me, I was able to stumble across a hedge fund manager who took me under his wing and showed me the exact frameworks that he uses to train his traders that trade on the floor. And let me tell you, it wasn't about talent and it wasn't about luck. It was about discipline, structure, organization, and so much more. These same 6 frameworks that I'm going to give to you literally took me from broke to being able to trade with $600,000 worth of funding capital. Not only that, but I was able to buy my dream car, which was a C63 AMG, and move to my dream city and my high-rise apartment in Miami, Florida. But you know what's most important? I never had to clock in again. I never had to work a job that I absolutely hated, and that was the most important thing to me, which was freedom. And in this video, I'm going to share those same 6 frameworks that he instilled into me to help me become profitable. I want you to think about it like as a combination lock. Without each 6 of these frameworks, you would not be able to unlock the combination. But I want you to stick with me, because by the end of the video, you will have everything you need to be able to quit your job and become a full-time trader. Let's get into it. Framework number 1, review your game tape. Let me explain what that means. At the hedge fund, the first thing they continuously to drill into me was to review my game tape. Every single day, their traders sat around a table and broke down their trades, their journals, basically, and then looked at it with a mentor to see what they did right and did wrong that entire day. You see, in trading, your game tape is your journal. And if you're not reviewing it, you're never going to be able to see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You can be leaking P&L every single day, but you would never know because you aren't journaling your trades. Here's the truth. You can't see your own mistakes on your own. It's physically impossible. And that's why at the hedge fund, traders had a mentor who will sit down with them and review their trades and their weekly P&L, their daily P&L to see how can they improve their P&L. But first you ask me, what is P&L? And if you're a new trader, I got you. Don't worry, bro. P&L is basically profit and loss statement. A profit and loss statement is just shows how much money you made during the day, the week, the month, or even a quarter. It's basically how much money you lost compared to how much money you've made. And without knowing your P&L and tracking your trades, you would never know if you're a profitable trader. And in my community, Flow Trading Academy, that's what I do. I hold my traders' hand to make sure that they are seeing what they do right, seeing what they do wrong, and making sure their P&L stay positive so they can be able to use it to quit their job. And if you want more information about that, the link will be down below. Framework number 2, role play. And role playing is super important. The hedge fund manager always told me, he would say, pros don't practice new setups. They practice the same setup 100,000 times. I want you to think about it like basketball, because as you know, I was once an athlete. But if you think of Stephen Curry, he shoots the same shot 1,001 times every single day. For me, it was understanding clean market structure, understanding higher highs, higher lows, and being able to enter off momentum. That was my one setup that truly made me profitable. Every single day, I would have the same entries, the same rules, the same correlation drilled into me to the point where I can do it in my sleep. Most retail traders fail because they are looking for variety, but that's not what pro traders do. Pro traders are successful because they do one setup over and over repeatedly until they are 100% confident in their system. Framework number 3, focus on the opportunity, never the growing pains. Fund manager always warned me, which always confused me, but now it makes so much sense 3 years later. If you only focus on your losses, you will never see the opportunity in the market. Most traders obsess about the pain, about the losses, the red days, the red months, or even blowing accounts. See, the hedge fund manager drilled into me to the point where I shift my thought process to every loss is just another data point in my tracking journal. The real opportunity was being able to capture large amount of capital, manage my risk, and see tremendous growth within my trading. And that's exactly what I did. I focused on opportunity and I forgot about the pain. And that's what prop firms gave to me. It gave me the opportunity to be able to trade $600,000 worth of capital, making 5 to 10% of that. And if you already know, that would be $15,000 to $30,000 a month. And the best part about it is I'm not risking my own money, right? I'm not risking as much money as I would say, or I'm not risking my rent money to be able to try and flip an account. That's why leverage in trading is super important. Framework number 4, frame control, rules control. Let me explain what I mean by that. One thing he always repeated to me was, whoever controls the frame wins the game. In trading, that means the market will always test you. You may go on a losing streak, but you must control the frame because you set the rules before ever entering the markets. Now, this is crazy, but at the hedge fund, if you ever broke any rules more than twice, you were fired, period. There's no ever going back. He was super strict about exactly his rules that he set out for his traders to follow. And he truly harped on these exact rules. 1, no moving your stop loss. 2, no adding to losing positions. 3, no revenge trading. 4, never risk more than allowed. Because he always would say, if you lose frame, you lose the game. And from that day forward, I've only stuck to my rules no matter how much I wanted to differ from them. My rules was basically my Bible. I never changed. I never looked across. I never broke a rule because I knew that breaking rules are the fastest way to blow up your trading account. Framework number 5, mastering yourself before you can master the charts. The hedge fund always told it to me straight. If you can't control your life, how the are you going to be able to control your risk? And especially if you're trading with $500,000 worth of capital. The best traders on his team wasn't the most talented. They just were the most disciplined. They literally ate the same meal every single day. They went to the gym at the same time every single day. They did the same thing as a pro athlete would do every single day. And that's when it all clicked for me. Trading is basically belief transferred into the market, which means the belief that you have when it comes to trading, it will show up every single time you enter a trade. If you don't master your discipline, if you don't master your self-control, your routine, your habits, how the are you going to be able to master $1 million worth of capital? Once I built the structure out in my life, that's when it all changed for me. Because I stopped showing up like an amateur and I started to show up like an elite pro trader. Framework number 6, reframe objections. Let me explain what I mean by that. Finally, he taught me excuses are just a mountain of incompetence. He would always say traders that say things such as, 1, I don't journal because I don't have time, or I don't have enough money to invest into my education, or I will start trading when the market is in a better market condition. These are all objections that he absolutely hated to hear. He would say these are all smoke screens because you lack fear, commitment, because you aren't locked in. And at the hedge fund, if you aren't committed, then you're gone, period. There was no second questioning about it. And the same applies to me now. Once I reframed my excuses, I stopped waiting to build. I stopped waiting and I started to build immediately. And that's exactly what led me to being able to get funded $600,000 worth of capital and do whatever I decided to do because I live life on my terms. And that is the true trader's lifestyle. Freedom is the most important thing when it comes to any trader. Now, these 6 frameworks is what took me from literally being broke, sleeping on my sister's floor, to being funded $600,000 worth of capital, making 5-10% of that. Now you got 2 options. Option A and option B. Option A is basically keep trading alone, ignoring these frameworks, and staying stuck at a job that you absolutely hate. Or option B, joining me in Flow Trading Academy, where I will literally walk you through these 6 frameworks step by step until you're able to quit your job and never ever clock in again. The link will be down in the description below if you want more information about that. But if you guys like this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want more information, well, maybe click this video right here. Click this one.